Don't you miss the sweet slumbers you fell into as a child? Neend app helps you recreate that magic with well-crafted exclusive sleep stories, guided meditations, and calming music to lull you into the restful sleep you need. Our offerings are all ad-free, approved by experts, and have helped more than 90% of our listeners fall asleep as quick as within 15 minutes after tuning into our app. Download the app for more sleeping aids and subscribe to the channel. Hi, I'm Ankita, and I'll take you on a magical journey to that one hill in Coorg where you can experience other worlds via travel fiction story written by Prakhar Patidar. In the hills of Coorg, there is a pit that takes one to another world. Before we begin, make yourself comfortable in your favorite position for falling asleep. Switch off all lights and close your eyes. Take a slow, full, deep breath and let go. It's time to set the world aside. Let go of your day and begin your gentle transition into sleep. Take another slow, full, deep breath and breathe out any tension in your body. All there is to do now is relax, rest, and be restored. You are in bed now, feeling your body relax from the day. Beginning with your feet, allow all the tension to go out of them now. They have worked hard for you all day and deserve a rest. And so the relaxation in your feet begins to find its way into your ankles, your calves, and your knees. And now relax your upper legs, your hips, and feel this relaxation flowing up into your abdomen and lower back, and your upper back and chest. And feel this peaceful, relaxing feeling flowing down your arms, into your hands, and out your fingertips, and then up into your neck, head, and face. Now your whole body is perfectly calm, relaxed, and ready for sleep. Soon you will be sound asleep, off on a peaceful journey into dreamland that will carry you all the way through until morning. So as you continue to listen to the story, begin to follow your breath, relax your entire body, and settle in for a wonderful sleep experience. Let's begin with our journey. The legend says there is a mysterious pit in a hill of Coorg that opens into another world, says Katie, the guy who runs this traveler's hostel. You have come to Coorg for a few days to escape Bangalore's big cityness. High-rise buildings, never-ending traffic, the city buses that beg to be oiled, and to top it all, metro line construction with its clinks and clanks. As if it is harmonized with the honks, whizzes, buzzes, and thunders of the road to harmonize a symphony, especially to get on your nerves. There is a charm and allure to the hustle-bustle of a big city. A small voice hiding in the loud noises saying, "This is where dreams come true." You had been working so hard lately on those dreams that pulled you to Bangalore, that even the soothing clickety-clack of the keyboards in your office, the occasional chimes of the computers, the refreshing smell of freshly made coffee filling the air every time the door to break room opened, all the thing that you liked about your workspace seemed too much. It was time for a breather. And given the hectic few months you had had, nothing short of the crisp, chilly air of the hills would do. You booked a ticket, and there you were on a swiveling road to Coorg. It wasn't easy for you to fall asleep on the bus, but the thin gust of wind escaping into the AC bus through where the roof meets the window lulled you into a much-needed slumber. When you woke up with the final halt of the bus, nothing was to be heard. Unlike the city, all sounds didn't blend into a boisterous roar of the street. Each sound here stood out, mild and melodious, even the call of the tea hawker. Oh, the warm, sickeningly sweet smell of tea. This is what you needed to begin your escape. You held the small cup in both your hands, thinking it's funny how you are going gaga over tea in a region that is known for its vast coffee plantations. You let the steam warm your face and looked at the green mountains standing before. All the sounds disappeared in the background. Coorg is not a town. It's a collection of small towns and villages spread in the hilly region, connected through roads cutting through mighty mountains and luscious forests. There is Madhekari at the center, surrounded by Virajpet, Kushalnagar, Goni Gopal, Polybeta, and Somwarpet, each bejeweled with spectacular viewpoints and treks. Moreover, the whole region boasts amazing homestays to enhance your experience of the mountains. On Thursday, you spent all the time between meetings and calls and spreadsheets browsing through carefully crafted, aesthetically pleasing homestays. As inviting as they seemed, you were going alone. Booking one all to yourself didn't make any sense to you. You decided a traveler's hostel would be a better fit with like-minded people, infectious energy, and a one-of-a-kind experience. Last-minute planning doesn't leave one with the desired options though. You settled for the one you could find a vacant bed in, and on Friday evening left for the 256 kilometers long journey from Bangalore to Coorg. In hindsight, you'd think it was fate that led you to this hostel. If not for this place, you would never have found out about the pit. And if not for the pit, you wouldn't have traveled to what can only be described as another world. The smaller the place, the worse is connectivity, and thus people rely on interpersonal connections for ease of life. Your hostel was a short bus ride followed by a half-an-hour auto ride. You called the hostel owner. All the apprehensions you had about the place began fading as his cheery voice came through the phone. He sounded genuinely happy to be speaking to you. You could feel the happiness flow through the phone and to the muscles in your face, turning into a smile. He directed you to take bus number 873 and get off at Benison Bridge. There, an auto would be waiting for you. And indeed, an auto was waiting for you. You were so lost in the welcoming emptiness of the roads that any thought of cold escaped your mind, only to be reminded of it as you clutched onto the metal bar in the auto as it bobbled off on a kacha road deep in the forest where your hostel awaited you. The traditional Coorg villa stood hidden amongst the trees. For the longest part of the ride, you couldn't see anything but dense forest. You had forgotten the kinds of greens there are in nature. The dark, thick green of the bushes and the patchy, patterned green of tree leaves. The organized, warm tones of the coffee plantations to the unruly, minty green of wild vines. You try to imagine when was the last time you had seen such an impressive collection of shades of green. It wasn't like Bangalore was deprived of trees. Bouts of nature had managed to grace the city amidst its concrete rampage. In fact, Cuban Park had been the best part of your Sunday mornings for quite some time now. Sure, there was a collection of greens just as magnificent as this one. You never had the time to revel in it. And now, you sat around the fire with Katie and other hostelers at the time, sipping homemade Coorg wine, watching the red, orange and yellow flames merge into one another. The legend says there is a mysterious pit in a hill of Coorg that opens into another world, says Katie. Giggles join the sparks spewed out by the fire. No, I am telling you the truth, he insists, and you shake your head in disbelief. Your mind is warming up to the wine as it ballets down your throat, but not enough to suspend your disbelief. You are not the one to fall for the gimmicks of the mysterious hostel owners. Katie is a guy who looks young for his age. Maybe it's living close to nature that has been generous to him. You are too lost in the grace with which the fire burns to pay attention to anything else. The sparks fly and rise up in the air, imitating the twinkling stars in the vast sky above you. So many stars. There are so many stars above your head right now, your jaw drops in awe. You want to lay on your back and gaze at the infinitely expanding universe above you, and thus you ease into the ground. The grass beneath you crunches lightly and happily, cradling you in its misty embrace. How can you be so sure? Have you been there? Asks one of the travelers, urging Katie to continue. Of course, I have, but it's the stuff of magic. You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. It is something you have to experience on your own, continues Katie, the reflection of the flames dancing in his eyes. They added to the theatrics the conversation called for. And where is this pit? What is this other world like? The curious traveler leans in, more interested in the conversation. You don't blame him. The mystery is tugging at your curiosities too. Katie points at the tallest hill right behind the villa and wordlessly looks around at everybody. Everyone looks in the direction, even you, giving in and propping yourself up to get a better look at the hill. My grandmother took me there once. Till that day, I too thought it's all just stories, but that day we found it. As you walk closer and closer to the pit, the wind changes. It grows calmer, smoother, sweeter, and you can almost taste it. Like cotton candy dissolves on your tongue, the air begins to feel like something pleasant is dissolving into it. Sadly, I don't remember what happened after it, only bits and pieces. Like one remembers a lost dream, puzzling images that don't make much sense to you but reward you with a sense of familiarity. And I know what you all are thinking. This guy's crazy. It must have been just a dream. But you tell me this? Can you taste and smell and feel dreams? Katie pauses for a bit to let everyone ponder on the nature of dreams. You think about the last dream you had. You can't recall it at first, and then it suddenly comes to you. The light breeze and rustling leaves remind you of how the wind lulled you to sleep on the bus and you drifted off to the summers spent at your nanny's house. Maybe it was the journey or the want for an escape that has seeped into your dreams. When you were younger, the best of the journeys led to your nanny's house. Traveling from your hometown to Jaipur took an overnight train journey. You resolved every time to stay up and make the most of it, but the measured movements of the train had other plans for you. You think hard and conclude, Katie is right. Dreams aren't sensorial. Memories are. A face in the crowd may appear in your dreams, but it is the aroma from the food stalls and the feel of the atmosphere that forms the memories of the streets you have walked. My grandma said the pit jumps positions so that no one can find it twice. It's almost like the pit finds you. I have been going to that hill every few days since then, hoping to be found again. At this point, everyone is transfixed by Katie's story. We all have wishes that haven't come true. The inner child in you never stopped wishing for magic. You find yourself asking, "Can you take me there?" "Sure, if you like. Get some rest for now," he responds. "How about we set out early tomorrow morning, say 4 a.m.? A few other people show interest, and it's decided you all will leave early tomorrow morning in the search for the magical pit. You are sharing the room with 3 other people. They are already in bed. In the dark, you can see some of the furniture shimmers with the moonlight coming in through the window. This is a cozy room. Your bed is neatly laid out. It's late and you don't feel like going to bed. There's a giddy feeling in your stomach and you can't wait for the morning to come soon enough. It's like the night before a school picnic. You know you'll need all the energy for tomorrow, but feel too restless because of the excitement. Sleeping is futile. Tomorrow must come now. Your mind and body are ready for the trek. You don't even need an alarm to wake up. Your eyes flutter open. It's almost 4 a.m. You freshen up and go outside to find Katie and a few others waiting. The excitement is electric, The early morning light buzzes with it. None of you talk much, small greetings, and you are off towards the hill with the magical pit. It's a 4-kilometer walk to the base of the hill. Upon reaching there, we will stop for tea and some food and begin our trek. Don't be afraid. I know this hill like the back of my hand. There aren't any dangerous animals here, just beautiful plants. We will trek around and try to find the pit. If we are lucky, it will find us. If we are not, we will at least have a good trek. Either way, we should be back by lunchtime. You walk a little bit behind the group. The walk invited chatting, and you aren't up for that yet. You are more interested in the sounds of the jungle. The dried leaves shuffle beneath your feet, the call of the birds, the river is flowing nearby. You wonder if you really believe in this pit. You remind yourself to leave the city's cynicism back in the city. It isn't about the pit at all. Of course, it would be out of this world to stumble upon something like it. It's about taking this journey. It's about choosing to believe that magical things can happen and letting yourself feel the magic that is already around you. You can still see the group excitedly chatting ahead of you. The tea has given them more energy. It is infectious. And then something weird happens. It's almost as if you can taste this energy. It is wonderfully strange. Quite unlike anything you have tasted before, but a bit like an orange that is just the right amounts of tangy and sweet. You can taste the excitement. What is happening? You think to yourself, and then the ground beneath you shifts. It disappears, but you don't fall. There's warmth below you that's allowing you to ease into something new. You can't define it. You immediately think of the clouds one sees outside the window in airplanes. It feels like walking amongst those clouds, soft, satiny, peaceful. The forest around you is melting into waves of colors. It seems you are looking at the colors for the first time. Yellow has never seemed so warm. Pink has never felt so charming. Red has never seemed so deep. Blue has never sounded so still. White never felt so serene. There is no better way to describe what you are seeing than to describe it as walking into a color book from when you were 5, where roses don't have to be red and grass can be purple. And who knew purple tasted like long drives? You find yourself surrounded by all things that make you feel good to be alive. Even the aroma of freshly made coffee that you couldn't take 2 days back feels like a warm, long hug. And you melt into this embrace, deeper and deeper. You are surrounded by Katie and other travelers. They seem worried. One of them says, "Maybe dehydration got to her. We have been walking for a while now." You sip some water, and when they ask you what happened, you begin to wonder, how do you explain it to them that you just were in a color book? Hold on to the purpley taste of long drives and the satiny feel of clouds, because as years pass, they will merge into a single memory, almost like a dream. When you will think about this trek, for some reason, it will remind you of the summer afternoons you spent at your nanny's place, coloring away blank pages to your heart's content.